Hello everyone, and welcome back to the
Epic Battle Show.
I'm your host, Bob Schultz, and today we have a special battle just for you. We have gathered a medieval armed castle full of medieval age units like archers and footmen, and they're going to be up against 1 million zombies that are sieging the fort. Can can these knights hold their own and protect their realm, or will they fall? And in case they fall, well, you know the good old way of we'll be adding to the battle to make things more interesting. So, without further ado, here we go. As we see here, the zombies have all gathered outside of the range as in a typical siege fashion, and are now charging towards the enemy. Watching this, they're just making a beeline straight for the castle. For the castle itself, we have many archers on the walls, but also some outside the wall to to help attract attention, so that it's not just the foot soldiers having to deal with stuff. And as we see here, the arrows are already making contact with the enemy. Here we are. The first bit of combat has begun. As we see here, the zombies are pouring into the hole where the knights are cutting them down. So far, the defense seems to be going well. As we see here, there are a lot of footmen sitting inside the castle. This area, they're not quite at the castle walls yet, but they're slowly making their way through. Meanwhile, we have some footmen out here bringing battle to the zombies. This might be an interesting spot to check on later. Meanwhile, over here, they're running around the castle to get at the soldiers over here and over here. However, there's not a whole lot of archers and knights out here, so it will be interesting to see who actually manages to win this one. The knights have the benefit of a castle with its strong fortified position and the elevated area for shooting at the zombies. However, the zombies have far superior amount in forces, and if left unchecked, can become a real problem to the knights. Well, the knights seem to actually be pushing them out of the gate, slowly but surely. However, there's just so many more zombies cut after them. As we see here, there was an effective little fight made by the footmen. However, it wasn't enough. Over here we see sort of the same thing, except they're mainly fighting one zombie for at least 5 footmen. Whether or not that's fair, that doesn't matter. This is the Epic Battle Show. We're not here for fair battles, we're here for epic battles. Looking down, we see that the zombies have cleared out the patch of soldiers that were outside the walls. That's a little bit of diversion force, and we see that seemed to have worked. And now the the footmen over here, that I said would be an interesting spot, they seem to have lost ground rather than gaining, which is unfortunate for the footmen, but in the long run doesn't change a whole lot in the terms of the battle. However, now that the force outside the castle walls has been mostly defeated, the zombies are going to focus on trying to get through into the castle. So the areas to focus on are probably going to be the gates here and over here. However, things are looking a little bit different for this gate, as they don't seem to be quite as well defended. Plus, there is one soldier over here who's just standing his ground, trying to hit any zombies that come close enough, but not a whole lot seem to be doing so. Meanwhile, the archers have started firing into the castle walls. Something a tactic you don't really see a whole lot unless the castle is in great danger. As we see here, the castle, well, while probably not in great danger, does have zombies pouring through the gatehouse. As we see here, sort of the same thing has happened, which unfortunately means that the zombies will be able to charge through unchallenged. However, there are still lots of soldiers waiting to fight, and once the enemy gets close enough, they should be able to charge in and deal with the zombies threat. Well, we're back after a little bit of a time lapse here, watching how this gate has been holding out. It seems to be holding out fairly good. As we can see here through the body file, the zombies are mainly focusing on this one area over here, as well as over here. However, the soldier that was holding his position in that corner is no longer there, which is unfortunate. Meanwhile, over here, the zombies have really pushed forward and have created a large swath of open ground, which is not going to be good for the medium soldiers. However, they seem to be... as we seem to have a little bit of battle here, as men are finding their way out of their resting position and are actually fighting. This is quite interesting. However, it probably won't be enough to cause any sizable damage to the zombies, but we are seeing that the zombies have managed to push forward a fair bit. So, and we're going to, sorry, I can't seem to speak right now. They managed to get this far, so who knows how far they will get further on in the battle, as the rest of the zombie army has yet to enter the castle. So far, this gate seems to be the one that is holding out the best, while this gate doesn't seem to be holding out too well. However, they haven't gone after the archers on the walls, which could be a huge benefit to the medieval army. Meanwhile, the zombies over here are at risk of being shot by arrows. Because they are not moving, they become easy targets. However, this is This all relies on the ability of the knights to hold the inside area. However, as time goes on, this is increasingly not looking the case. But don't worry, folks, if they do not win, we can always change things up in a battle to make in the next battle to make things more interesting. So yes, in its current state, this castle probably won't survive the zombie onslaught. As we see here, there's just too many zombies breaking in from the back and the front just doesn't seem to be holding as it should, which is real unfortunate for the medieval knights, but every once in a while we see the knights put up a valiant effort to push the zombies back. And we see a bit of that here as the knights are actually holding them off while the archers pepper them with arrows. And it worked for a little bit. However, it would have worked better if there were more footmen to hold them off. Meanwhile, here would be an excellent defended area, as we also see that the zombies have started to take on the force on the walls. How effective they will be, we'll have to see, as there are many archers on the walls, and this is a very narrow area. This could be very difficult for the attackers, or fairly easy for the defenders to hold position. As you see here, there's more zombies coming in to join the fight. Meanwhile, the footmen are pressing their way to clog the hole to prevent zombies from getting in, and it looks like it is working for now. Meanwhile, if we follow the zombie trail here, we see that the footmen and archers here are getting boxed in. They're getting backed into a corner, which isn't really good for pushing. Doesn't sound too good, but you never know. They may fight harder, or it might just end for them, and that would be unfortunate. And we see here that there are still many archers on the wall here, firing out on the zombies. Soon, all the zombies' focus will be on getting rid of the archers on the walls. But for now, it seems to be more of a side focus at times. The zombies only seem to send a few war zombies at a time to get rid of these archers. However, the zombies appear to be breaking through. And if they manage to break through the footmen, they'll be able to get at the weaker archers behind. However, like I said, it's a long, narrow wall where lots of archers are on. We see here that the zombies are making their way up onto the walls using an alternate route now, and are actually wreaking havoc, as the archers aren't all targeting zombies that are on the walls. However, they appear to be doing so now, though they let probably a few too many archers die. However, this seems to be even of an even lower priority than the other wall, or the other one over here, as we see all the zombies seem to be trying to get up this wall. Meanwhile, the footmen are still holding them back. However, it doesn't appear to be that for long, as there's no more footmen left. Oh, except for one, and he didn't last too long. If you want to be able to fight zombies, you either have to do it one-on-one to have it fair, or go with your buddies. It's not recommended to do it solo. What we see over here, this area might be one of the last defenses of the humans, other than on the walls. And we see here that, yep, they are making their way onto the walls, but it's quite slow as there are lots of footmen and archers. We see that there are lots of zombies pouring over here, and they're slowly carving their way through the forces here. But as there are footmen and archers, they are taking a considerable amount of hits. Meanwhile, over here, the zombies have basically just charged through, probably because the archers' attack isn't all that great, and they're not all targeting the zombies, which is really unfortunate for the archers, as if they all were united in their defense, they probably would have lasted a lot longer. Meanwhile, we're seeing the last reserves on this wall being wiped out. As you see here that, well, this definitely looks like it's going to be a zombie victory. However, this wall has not fallen yet, so we don't know what will happen. As we can guess that the zombies will win, as they have superior numbers even to this point. We do not know if they're going to we don't know if the medieval knights can pull off a victory at this point. However, they will still be able to do a decent amount of damage. And in the end, if you're in a zombie apocalypse, taking out as many as you can is basically the best tactic. Other than surviving, of course, this area will be really tough for zombies to break through, as there's so many footmen. They're practically morphing through each other. So hey, Timmy, how do you think your prospects are? Tommy has seen a few things that he doesn't want to talk about, apparently. Very well. Maybe we'll get from the battle perspective talk later. You never know. We have a bit of water that has flooded around the castle. Nice big open area. As you see here, this entire section of the wall has been overrun, and now the zombies are breaking on into the breach here, casually throwing soldiers off the side of the ramparts. Which, I mean, that's gotta be quite a way to go. You fell off so hard, you hit the ground and kept going all the way into your hip, but by far this has gotta be the most painful. These two guys hit the ground so hard, they just kept sinking in, and they landed head first. So you see here, it seems to be quite common that they would fall and hit their head, but keep going through the ground. And inside this tower, this seems to be where a majority of the fighting is going to take place from now on, defending this one corridor, and they definitely have the men to do so. Well, it appears this defense is actually working out quite well. However, its position is hard to keep, as they slowly lose more and more soldiers. There will be less and less men to defend the archers, except for this very last footman over here. Meanwhile, the archers are still firing away, taking out any zombies that they can, which is pretty good for considering that they're almost completely overrun. Meanwhile, these zombies are still filtering in trying to find a spot inside the castle. Don't believe that's supposed to happen. Let's go and join the fight as one of these footmen. Oh, we didn't manage to kill anyone, but we managed to push the zombies further back by a little bit, at least. There's a bunch of fairly damaged zombies in the mist here, but thanks to our archers doing some, putting in some hard work. Let's take a archer here, try to help out the, there we go, that's a hit. The unfortunate thing about these arrows is that they tend to go far and wide without hitting, which is unfortunate. Appears we're quite short compared to the rest of our comrades, which doesn't really make too much sense. Well, it appears the footmen have finally been wiped out, and now the zombies are pushing through to get at the archers now. Except for this last footman, who are at the very end. But in all honesty, I don't think he'll last very long. Like I said, you do not want to fight the zombies by yourself. So I managed to probably kill a few more of these zombies that are outside the walls, but that isn't doing them any good right now. They should instead focus on the zombies over there. And the last of the archers, let's take control of this footman, see if we can get a kill. We managed to get one. That's the last of the archers on the wall here, unless we're missing something. Apparently there's people somewhere that haven't been found yet. This is very strange. Well, in the end, the zombies won, and we see here that the zombies managed to kill all the troops. However, Team 1 managed to kill 21,000 zombies, which isn't too bad. However, considering that there are roughly around 1 million, that unfortunately doesn't stack up very well. Well, let's go and make some changes to our units, the units at play, to make this battle a bit more interesting. Alright folks, and we're back. And well, before we show you off our layout, that's just something I should say. We've broken the rules of time and space to get you the units here. So, rather than archers defending the walls, we have replaced them with the 18th century redcoat, armed with a powerful musket, but with a long reload time. This defensive position should give them an edge over on the battlefield. Next up in our changes, we have Spartans from ancient Greece, also ancient Sparta, if the name wasn't obvious enough. These guys are fairly strong combatants and should be able to keep this area well defended. Next up, we have the Heavy Knights. These guys are fairly well armed and with a good armor stat, which will make them much harder to take down. And finally, last but not least, we managed to bring in orcs from the fantasy realms. These guys are strong and, well, orcs. So, let's get into this battle. And this will be quite interesting, as when the zombies get into range, we'll be able to see how effectively the walls are actually working. Because with arrows, it's kind of hard to see where the arrows are going, as they're very quick. And what are you doing all by yourself? Don't you know this is how you get killed, Timmy? Oh, it looks like Timmy has made up his mind, and he isn't going back. See here that the range appears to be longer than that of the arrows, which I guess makes sense. But it seems to be working quite well, as we have quite a few zombies that are falling outside the city walls, or outside the castle walls, and it's working fairly well. However, redcoats aren't all that tanky, and they will die around around a similar speed to that of the archers, maybe a bit shorter, as they seem to be a bit stronger, as well as the fire from their muskets does do a fair amount of damage. If we were to take one of the redcoats here, you see we do, rather than doing 15 damage, we do 50. That is a good deal more damage. As we see here, the Spartans are actually, they're not sitting inside the castle waiting for the zombies to get to them. They're taking the fight to the zombies. A commendable effort, but this is going to cause us some problems if they're not successful and create a wide open area for the zombies to break through. We will see. Meanwhile, over here, the zombies have yet to get into the get near the gate, as the redcoats, with their advantageous position in front of the gate and their advanced warfare compared to that of the other army, they seem to be holding the ground fairly well. And over here, we actually don't see all that many zombies making their way to attack the redcoats, which could be a big problem for the zombies later on. However, we look here and we see there are some Spartans standing and fighting, doing what Spartans do best, holding a pass, it seems. Well, it doesn't seem like they were too good over here, but then again, there's a small pile up there, so we don't know how many were fighting there. But these Spartans are all have one singular focus: don't let them up the hill. Because if they get up the hill, that's lost land, and losing land isn't great. I think it's time for one of our company mandated time lapses, which I think would be quite interesting if we do it here, watching the zombies slowly encroach in on the redcoats. So we'll do a little bit of speedy action here, see what will happen. Well, looks like the zombies have moved forward, but now they're fighting the heavy knights, which are far superior than their footmen brethren. And there were a few of them. It seemed to be mainly chilling, waiting for the enemy to approach them. Meanwhile, the Spartans that were out front here seem to all have fallen. As you see, the zombies are now going through the gates again, but there's still plenty of redcoats firing through the wall there. We see that as night comes down, we start to see the tracer fire of the musket shots going down, hitting the zombies. So you can better see how effective these muskets are over arrows. The only thing else to really report is that these redcoats haven't fallen yet. However, these zombies sure are trying, albeit from only one side. It does give the redcoats advantage as they can just fire down one way and not have to worry themselves about what's coming from behind them. Meanwhile, the redcoats out on these rocks are just living their best life right now. Absolutely free from all concerns as there are no zombies coming to get at them. Hello, Billy. How are you today? Alright then, we'll let you get back to your work. These soldiers we bring back don't seem to be the most talkative. No idea why that is. However, if we look at the numbers here, we see that the Team 1, which is the castle defense, have killed 25,000 zombies, which is better than what the first castle defense did, which they did roughly around 21 kills. Meanwhile, the zombies have killed only 3,000. Isn't too bad, but definitely is a lot better for the defenders. It also appears that the redcoats can squeeze more onto the railways, or not the railways, the walls than the archers could. This might hugely benefit them, as they're just more on the battlefield. And all the heavy knights are going through, doing their work, and they've almost filled up the gatehouse with bodies from the zombies. Is, well, pretty good for the defense. However, if the zombies get over the gatehouse, it might cause a problem. Meanwhile, a lot of these redcoats are firing away into the wall, or firing away over here, which is a good idea, providing support wherever you can. However, the ones firing into the wall, I guess they forgot to take their pills today. But nothing is going through that wall. As we see here, there's nothing going through that wall. And we see here that the Spartans have decided to take up another defense. However, there's just not quite enough of them to hold that position for a long time. While the redcoats are doing massively better compared to the archers. That's probably just because they have muskets, not arrows. Musket balls were quite dangerous. In fact, that's what started the downfall of the knights. Why wear armor when you have a musket ball that can potentially penetrate the armor? As we see here, now the redcoats on the rocks now have a reason to worry. However, these two over here seem to be the least of the concerns of the zombies. Meanwhile, Jim Bob here actually somehow managed to convince them to hold still. However, that was only one of them, and he survived to reform good. Billy and Johnny over here seem to be in a bit of a pickle, as there is a zombie that is right in their face. Good thing they're not using smooth bore pistols, otherwise they might miss entirely. Anyway, that is the end of this little rock defense. Now the zombies are moving on to finally defeat the redcoats over here. Whether or not they'll be able to do that, we'll see later. Now this is quite advantageous for the knights, as it seriously reduces the area that they need to cover by just creating such a big body pile that they're actually pushing forward. They're actually pushing the zombies away, which actually is really good. Meanwhile, we haven't really had a chance to see the orcs in combat. Perhaps we go and take one now to see how good they are. Well, he's holding his own right now. Well, he was holding his own. The defense continues on, and the Spartans have once again decided to take the fight to the zombies. Well, the redcoats up here continue taking pot shots at the zombies. Well, this seems to be more effective than the archers. You never know how things could change if technology advances a little bit more. Imagine, rather than having to fire a single shot and then reload, you could fire 30 and have a quicker reload time. Or for all intents and purposes, we're not going to be rerunning this battle, even if the zombies win, which seems more and more unlikely, because if we managed to do that, or if we did that, well, there wouldn't be original battle anymore. It would be boring for our audience. However, if an idea like that intrigues you, let us know. We would love to perform an improved version of this battle. Meanwhile, we have... What are you doing up on here? How'd you even get up here? This position is far too advantageous, as you can basically snipe anyone, and well, we see here, zombies are around 200 now, so within 4 shots you would have a kill, if you manage to hit the same one every time. But we all know that muskets aren't accurate weapons, which is why they use them in mass. I think I might leave it instead. Redcoats are still surviving, probably even thriving, with the amount of bodies that they have created, just being a constant source of distraction for the zombies is working quite well in their favor. We have fallen, and here they come, the zombies, to eat our bones and something. Unfortunately, he can't really do hit and run techniques, but he can run. How many zombies do they need to kill one man? This is outrageous, for the zombies at least. Think about it. All these zombies going to kill one singular redcoat, all this energy wasted on one singular redcoat, while the real fighting is way over here. Right now we're just toying with them. We have some support fire from the castle, which is hugely beneficial to our little race right now. Oh, I bet you're wondering, why is Billy Bob here so good at running? Well, you see, we don't know. It's not like he was an Olympic sprinter, or even a marathon runner. He's just good at running. Maybe he was bullied a lot as a kid. I mean, if that's the case, it probably really shows that he's not taking the chance to shoot his bullies. However, it's probably a good reason for that, because if he does, he's more than likely to get pounded into a pulp in the very short time it takes to fire, as they are right on his tail, hopping and leaping. That's the trick. Oh, he actually managed to survive running through the zombie horde. This is very weird. Oh dear. Help me, my friends. I have a bunch of zombies that need killing. Oh no, more zombies. Aha. Just bobbing and weaving through traffic. Unfortunately, he died. Probably met the same fate he would have faced in London. We all know that those are just jokes. While these zombies completely ignore the several footmen sitting, or not footmen, the redcoats sitting on this rock here. Oh, maybe not completely ignoring now. Well, let's have a look-see at what's going on in the castle walls. We see that the bottom pile has become so high that they've actually had to basically force themselves through the wall to fight the zombies. These Spartans. This is simply ridiculous. I mean, the zombies aren't opposed to it, it appears. They'll force themselves through solid rock walls to get at the enemy. I mean, that's most likely not great for their head or anything else of theirs. Their position makes it very hard to actually get a good shot of the battle. So, we might have good old bird's eye view of the battle. Do another one of our company mandated fast track action shot. Let's get it right into that. Well, let's go take a look down at the battle and see how things have... Well, it doesn't look like things have changed too much on this side, as the, well, other than the zombies physically forcing themselves through the wall, and Spartans as well. Spartans, am I right? Do anything for some action. Meanwhile, we see here that the zombies are actually gotten over the crest of the hill. It seems this is pretty good for the zombies, but also really good for the defenders, as they don't have to go over the hill anymore. You can just shoot them as they appear. Makes things a whole lot easier. But as it stands, the battle seems to be going pretty well in the defender for the defender. If we look at the kills here, we see that they've killed 59,000 soldier or zombies. Meanwhile, the zombies have only killed 4,000 at this point. So I think we can really tell who's going to be winning. What we might do now is head over automatic cinematic cams to get a interesting look. Oh, somewhat. Ah yes, brick wall. Very entertaining. Folks, I think this, the outcome of the battle has pretty much been decided already. I think it's time we help things along with a little bit of nuclear support. Well, sometimes you forget just how big the explosion radius of the nuke is. But if we see here that we get a pretty clear view of how the of where and how the battle took place, without any people standing on body. Well, this has been very interesting. Let us know what other battles that we can bring for your entertainment, and we'll see you again soon.